Welcome to Nonsense, Season 4, Episode 29, our big story. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm CJ Little.
This time we're looking at thirsty industries, the secret water hogs of the modern economy. Up next.
Wait, data centers?
Well,
didn't we already do this episode? What?
Sort of.
Are we out of ideas?
7 in 10 Americans oppose building data centers in their local area, and a huge part of that is concern over how much water they use. Protesters hold big signs that say things like, "We can't drink data."
Well, apparently they can't write data either. What do you mean you can't drink data? What does that even mean?
The big battleground this weekend is in Hillsboro, Oregon, where 18 data centers are active or under construction. In San Gabriel Valley, the city of industry, California, the newly formed No Data Centers SGV Coalition, comprising half a dozen local activist groups, is holding coordinated weekend rallies and public flyer drops.
I swear we just did this episode, but how are they coordinating? Are they using, I don't know, computers to coordinate? Corkboard at the local Y?
Corkboard.
What do you...
How much water does big corkboard use?
I love how people are just like, I want all of the output of the thing. I just don't want the thing. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
I want the data center in someone else's yard.
Hey, put it in my yard. Huh? I want low latency. Get me closer to the data center. It sounds lovely.
Well, but you understand how it works. Okay, manufacturing on tap, the hidden water cost of things we consume. Let's go.
I'm more of a manufacturing bottom. Do you know the real problem here? The real consumer of water that nobody talks about?
Yeah.
Fish.
Oh, sure.
Fish consume a lot of water. You got to get rid of the fish. That's the problem.
Down with big fish.
They're down with big fish, right? Those guys are little water hogs.
After last week's episode on AI data centers and how much water they use, you'd be forgiven if you picture a data center like some kind of Mary Poppins steampunk fantasy, or something out of Steamboat Willie with enormous plumes of steam now and again, shooting up here and there high into the air between the towering mechanical pistons and massive gears. How else could they possibly be using 175 to 250 billion gallons of water each year?
Look, I'm not one to try to put a wet blanket on anyone's fetish. Steampunk data centers? Like, wow.
Polished wood floors.
You maybe need to get out and touch grass, my friend.
Everybody's wearing goggles.
I love it. Keep going. Just say it slower.
The number sounds so big and so scary, we thought it needed some context. To be clear, this is not to say we don't need to be mindful about every gallon of water we use, but there are industries that use a surprising amount of water to give us common everyday things. And in many cases, these use far more water than data centers.
I love our pro data episode.
We had to prepare separately this week, so I know you have a list and I have a list.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be fun to take turns and look at everyday things we consume and the quantity of water required to produce them.
I just have fish.
That's your whole list?
We need more than one. Really should have read those pre-production notes, huh?
You may, if you want to talk about fish, that's fine. You may go first, sir. I yield to the gentleman who brought the donuts.
Okay, first of all, I feel like I'm trying to pass you in a narrow hallway when you say that, but thank you. This is context, right? And I feel like we didn't get much of a chance to go deep into this last week because we were talking about the water that was consumed, but really you need the context for water that's consumed by things that are not data centers.
Correct.
Just right off the bat, the big one, and this gets a tiny bit of press. You see a little bit of this on the TikToks and the Instas, is our good friend corn.
You see that everywhere. When I asked my child about his AI use, he said, well, I don't eat corn to make up for it. I was like, no, that's not quite.
But for perspective on this, we're generally speaking, we believe the average water consumption for AI data centers in the US is around 220-ish billion gallons of water a year currently. That number is going to go up, but right now it's about 220 billion gallons of water, which is a lot of water. That's about how much water my wife drinks before we get in the car and go on a road trip. Roughly speaking, it's about that much.
Let me give this. According to findings from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and Industry Environmental Trackers, the combined physical water footprint for all U.S. data centers hits roughly 228 billion gallons annually.
That's a lot of water, right? I mean, that's a good amount of water. For perspective, I want to think about these other consumers of water in terms of that AI data center footprint. That's a way to sort of normalize it. Corn, globally, is somewhere between 180 and 200 trillion gallons of water each year.
Wait until your corn starts making AI data requests.
That's globally. Let's just talk about in the U.S. In the U.S. alone, you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood between 55 and 60 trillion gallons of water a year.
You're saying that's more than data centers use?
It's a touch more. So that's 270 times the amount of water consumed for AI data center. About 40%-ish of the corn we grow in the US is just used for fuel.
Ethanol.
Right? It's your ethanol. It's your biofuel alternative. So that's roughly 23 trillion gallons of water just goes to corn fuel production. Another 40% just goes to feeding livestock. So right there, that's roughly 80% of all the corn that we grow. So 80% of that 55-ish trillion gallons of water just goes to fuel production and to feed livestock. What we actually eat here as human food or industrial goods is less than 10%. Now also, I'm giving you a total water number. This is total water, including rainfall.
Doesn't matter. If it's rainfall, it would have gone down to the rain table.
Exactly.
Instead it goes into the corn.
It'd go into the watershed. It would go. So you
water
have
use
to
is water use.
You have to consider that.
Not that water that is not processed is not cheaper water. It is, but it is still water.
Yes. So 270x in the US alone.
Corn is the one that everybody, that's the meme one. That's the one everybody talks about. A single avocado requires about 60 to 70 gallons of water to grow.
A single avocado?
A single avocado.
That's a lot of water.
A single slice of cheese pizza? 330 gallons of water to produce.
What? No.
Mostly to feed the dairy cows and irrigate the wheat fields.
I would have taken the under on that bet.
A bottle of wine takes around 87 gallons of water to grow and process enough grapes to fill a single 750 milliliter bottle of wine.
But wait, that strikes me
87 gallons for a little bottle of wine.
The thing that is mainly water is only 87 gallons only.
Right.
The cheese pizza is 300 gallons of water.
A single egg, 53 gallons of water.
Wow, that's a big egg.
Almost entirely because of the grain required to feed
the chickens? Yeah. Interesting.
A single diaper takes 144 gallons of water to produce.
And my kids can put that much into it.
Well, I hope your kids at this age are not using diapers.
Very good kidneys. That's amazing.
This sounds positively efficient. A single beer takes about 20 gallons of water.
Okay. Well, it's better than the wine.
Because of the barley and the hops, so it is much better than the wine.
Yeah. So wait, your point is if you want to conserve water, ditch that slice of pizza, just drink another beer. Is that your point?
Yes, that is precisely my point.
This is going to go swimmingly.
So to speak. A plastic water bottle. You know those plastic water bottles you get everywhere?
Oh, the bane of my existence.
It takes 3 times more water to manufacture the plastic water bottle than it actually takes to fill it up.
The water inside it?
Yeah.
Just stop drinking water out of plastic bottles. Like, why we are doing this?
Well, because if you're at a sporting event or something, it's a very convenient way to get water. But if you can get them out of the aluminum bottle, which is a much better way
100% recyclable.
To have them. Yeah, it's 100% recyclable.
As opposed to roughly 0% recyclable.
No, that's true. Corn is the one that everybody talks about. Producing 1 gallon of corn-based ethanol biofuel requires anywhere from 10 to 100 gallons of water for crop irrigation, prompting debates over how green exactly is ethanol.
Not great, as it turns out. So anyway, so that's corn, and it's the big heavyweight of the water consumption, I believe.
You look at a standard 8-ounce cup of coffee and you see 8 ounces of liquid, right?
Well, I'm not a heathen. I use the metric system, but sure.
It takes 37 gallons of water to make your little cup of coffee. Yeah. If you're a heavy coffee drinker who downs 3 cups a day, your coffee habit alone consumes over 40,000 gallons of water every year.
All right, so coffee.
And the issue is agricultural growth. Yes. Coffee beans are actually the seeds of berries that grow on tropical evergreen shrubs. These plants thrive on warm, humid, equatorial climates. When the regions rely on rainfall, a massive percentage of global coffee plantations utilize intensive overhead irrigation systems to maximize crop yield.
I didn't know that.
And keep the soil perfectly damp. It takes a ton of water just to keep the tree alive long enough to produce a harvestable yield.
Do you have to water the cats that eat the coffee and then poop it out? Oh. That's the only coffee I use these days.
So disgusting. Once the coffee cherries are picked, the outer fruit must be stripped away to get them to the bean inside. The most popular commercial method is wet processing. The cherries are dumped into massive roaring flumes of water flowing where they are mechanically pulped, fermented in giant water vats for up to 48 hours, and then continually washed with high pressure streams to remove the sticky mucilage.
Oh man, I love me a big bowl of mucilage.
You know what goes well with coffee?
A little mucilage on the side, a little
nice.
Coffee yogurt mucilage. Yeah, it's great.
Coffee industry's annual water footprint.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Humans are consuming 2.25 billion cups of coffee every single day.
2.5 billion cups of coffee a day? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. That's a lot of coffee.
So the annual total for the global coffee industry is approximately 30.4 trillion gallons
per year
of water every single year.
That's a lot of water. That's right up there with corn.
So we talk about 175 to 250 billion gallons of water a year to power the future of human intelligence. But to power our own human intelligence in the morning, 30.4 trillion gallons per year.
That's a lot of water.
That means the water used to grow and process the morning coffee could keep every AI data center on the planet cooled and running for the next 120 years.
Well, sure. It's all fine and dandy until the AI starts drinking coffee. Then what? Then what happens? I'd like my AI to be a little more unhinged. That's a lot of water. Okay, so corn and coffee are
big users. What do you got next? What's next?
Well, I can't compete with that. I didn't think it was going to be that kind of show. This one, it kind of surprised me until I thought about it for a moment, but swimming pools.
Oh, for sure.
But not because you got to fill them.
It's a giant open cup of water. Yes. Of course, half of it's going to be evaporating.
Yes.
Probably your costs are not even filling the things up. It's probably a whole swimming pool full of water every year.
So you're right. So you clearly, I mean, living in Southern California and being a pool owner, you get to know these things. Start with, how many pools are there in the U.S.? Roughly speaking, how many pools do you think there are in the United States?
10 million. I have no idea.
Did you look at my notes?
I don't have your notes.
This is my favorite thing.
Guessing. How many is it?
I love when I ask you a question and you're like, I have no idea. And then you're like, let me guess the number within 3 decimals. And then I'm like, okay, great. Yes, there are 10.7 million. Yeah, I had to go one more digit.
So closer to 11 million.
Sure, let's pretend like you were wrong.
A lot of pools.
Yes, Kreskin. There are over 10 million pools in the U.S., which I think is a lot of pools.
Yeah.
The split on that, by the way, 60% of those are residential sort of in-ground pools, 40% of them are above-ground pools, and then you've got a small number of what we call commercial or public pools, right? Hotels or municipal parks, things like that. The average consumption really isn't filling the pool. This is the part that I think most people don't appreciate, but it's all evaporation.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sure.
Water that's been evaporated, maybe splashed out or whatnot.
I know, because my pool gets refilled twice a week when the pool guy comes, and he's constantly having to add water to that thing.
So the EPA estimates that an average-sized uncovered residential backyard pool, which is what the vast majority of these 10 million are, right?
Sure, sure.
Over 10 million of them are exactly that. You're talking about roughly 500 square feet of surface area on the top of the pool, and that they're losing somewhere, depending on your location, between 12 and 31,000 gallons of water a year.
Wow.
Pools that are in like places like California or Arizona, Nevada, where it's very hot and it's very arid.
You're losing even more. Well, that's where you need the pools, yeah.
You're losing even more. So you're talking about 30,000 gallons plus per year in evaporation.
That's got to be where the majority of the pools are.
Absolutely. You're not going to have a bunch in Pennsylvania.
No.
Why? It's cold.
Iceland, they don't have that many pools.
So you add this all up and you go, well, okay, well, we take all these pools and let's do some math. You end up somewhere in the neighborhood of between 170 and 200 billion gallons of water a year, just in the U.S. that's lost to evaporation.
So basically all of the U.S. data centers combined.
Exactly.
Worth.
You're somewhere between 90 to 100% of the consumption of the current AI data center footprint in the U.S. You can actually, as a pool owner, you can affect change here very easily. All you have to do is cover your pool. If you cover your pool, you will see a 90 to 95% drop in evaporation.
Well, sure.
Well, I know. Most people don't think of it that way.
You're making your pool effectively into a giant water balloon.
Yes. But what even is more important, I didn't know this until I became a pool owner. I mean, I knew the parts of the physics, but I didn't piece them together. The majority of your heat loss is from evaporation.
Yeah, of course.
It's actually not from it just being cool overnight. It's from the evaporation, because the state change of the water
heat's getting away.
Takes a ton of energy. So if you want to have a warmer pool, you can put a cover on it, not because the cover somehow magnifies the light or does some magic. It just keeps evaporation from happening. And if you can keep evaporation from happening, you can, 1, save a ton of water, and 2, keep your pool much warmer. My point here on this is pools do use a lot of water, right? A data center's worth of water in the US.
Yeah.
And that if you want to change that, if you want to reduce your water bill, make it better, just cover it. That's all you got to do.
The ultimate water hog is pasture grass. Ooh. The single largest irrigated crop in the United States by land area isn't corn or wheat. It's lawn grass and alfalfa, swallowing billions of gallons a day, purely to keep cattle feed plots hydrated. This is why one hamburger takes 660 gallons of water to make.
Wow. How much?
660 gallons per hamburger.
For one hamburger?
That's what I'm saying.
I will have the soup, sir.
There you go. Divides into 3 categories. There's green water, that's rainwater that grows the pasture grass. Blue water, which is surface and groundwater used for drinking and irrigation. And gray water, which is what you need to dilute the agricultural runoff.
I didn't know waters were so colorful.
Beef, baby.
I do love me some beef.
And that breaks down to basically 95 to 98% of the footprint is the feed.
Yep.
Growing that feed is incredibly water intensive.
Yep.
The cows themselves, actually, the amount that they drink and the amount that you might wash them, 1 to 2% of the water use.
Okay.
Processing the beef at the packing plant is less than 1% of the water use.
But you can't have the beef without the feed.
No, you sure can't.
Wow.
It averages out to about 1,800 to 2,000 gallons of water per pound of beef.
A lot of water.
And then you chop that into quarter-pound hamburger patty, and you end up with 660 gallons.
That makes total sense.
In the United States, U.S. beef production consumes approximately 21.2 trillion gallons of water annually.
21 trillion gallons of water.
It accounts for 9% of all annual freshwater withdrawals.
That's a lot of water.
The inefficiency is, of course, with beef, you have to grow it twice.
What does that mean if you have to grow it twice?
First, you have to grow it as cattle feed.
Yeah, what's this? I'm lost. What's the second time?
Then you have to grow it as a cow.
Oh, I see.
So it's really inefficient.
Yeah, sure. there's no path around that.
There's no way around it. You're right. There's no way around it. If you want to have animal flesh, you're going to grow it twice.
You got to feed the animal.
So American cattle agriculture uses roughly 100 times more water than the entire global data center network.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's beef. Okay, so if you're out there holding a sign that says no data centers for SGV or whatever in the hell your sign says,
San Gabriel Valley.
Maybe you're going to skip the hamburger.
Probably not a bad idea. Sure.
Day. You're probably getting more impact on that than anything else.
My kid's avoiding corn.
I've heard. I've heard they're anti-corn.
Your turn, sir.
Okay, so beef is super interesting. This is kind of loosely related. Golf courses.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Municipal golf courses are the bane of my existence. The fact that you take all this acreage, you water it, you maintain it, you groom it, all this stuff, so that how many people, you got foursomes, and how frequently could you send a foursome off to play golf?
Yeah.
It's a tiny number of people who you're entertaining, who your entire municipality is paying so you can entertain this very small number of people.
Absolutely. If you had to guess, how much water do you think all golf courses in the U.S. consume? Rough numbers.
75 gazillion pounds.
75 hot tubs. 75 Korean bathhouse hot tubs.
Since we're both refusing to use the metric system on this episode. No, it's got to be easily 4 trillion data centers worth. If the cumulative amount of data centers.
It's just over 500 billion gallons of water. It's 530 billion gallons of water annually.
Just for golf.
Just for golf.
A good walk spoiled.
It is, that's about 1.5 billion gallons of water per day. Just go to golf courses.
Yeah.
What is different about this?
They're pretty.
Sure. What is different about this than some of the other ones we've talked about previously is that most of this water comes from sources that are otherwise close to human home. Meaning,
sure.
A lot of it comes from ground wells.
Yeah.
You have some of these places, about a third of them, a little less than a third of them, have on-site lakes or ponds they can pull from. They do use wastewater. About 20% of the golf courses in the U.S. use treated wastewater, gray water, that you can use to navigate. Yeah. But then you still have over 10% of it that just comes from tap water, just municipal tap water.
Which is the most expensive form of water because it's so processed.
That's 53 billion gallons of water that we have processed that we're now dumping on golf courses.
The whole idea of a lawn, do you know how lawns came to be?
No.
Was just showing off how wealthy you were. That you could actually own property that wasn't productive. That's how rich you were.
Exactly. Yeah. That then requires work.
Right.
In the past 20-ish years, golf course water usage has dropped by about 30%.
Yeah.
So that's great. Like we've wound the number down, but it's still 530 billion gallons a year. We're giving these normalization in these big numbers, but that average golf course, your typical consumption that you're seeing on a per golf course basis, you're talking around 300,000 gallons of water per day.
Sure.
On a typical golf course. That equates to over 2.3 million ChatGPT queries for one golf course.
Sure. And most of my queries are going to be, what other excuses can I come up with on why I don't want to go golfing with my friends?
To not go golfing. So if you go to the golf course, you would save all the water on both sides. Really?
Think of those queries you could save.
Oh, man. Yeah, anyway, so that's golf courses, right? And that is a real number.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Ounce for ounce chocolate has the highest virtual water footprint of any commercial food item on the planet.
Great.
Easily beating out coffee and beef.
Great. Okay, so far we have thrown coffee, beef, and now chocolate under the bus. And golf courses.
All the good stuff.
Great. End of days.
A bar of chocolate takes 450 gallons of water. A standard 3.5 ounce, 100 gram bar of chocolate requires approximately 450 gallons of water to produce. That's enough water to fill up 10 entire bathtubs to the brim for a single small candy bar.
How many water beds would that be?
Anything but the metric system, as always.
Some random unit.
Cacao beans are the seeds of the fruit grown on the cacao trees. These trees only grow in a narrow band around the equator, primarily in West Africa. They're incredibly fragile. They require near constant tropical environment, consuming up to 27,000 liters of water per kilogram of beans harvested.
Yeah.
Because they sweat out moisture rapidly in the equatorial heat, they require a massive nonstop rainfall or heavy automated agricultural irrigation to stay alive.
That's a lot. So a chocolate bar on the order of 400-ish gallons of water for one chocolate
450
bar.
gallons of water.
So it's about a hamburger worth.
Their annual footprint, the chocolate industry, you ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
The annual total for the chocolate industry, they consume 41.7 trillion gallons of water every single year.
Okay, clearly I didn't get the memo because you're doing all yours in the trillions and mine are only in the billions. I can barely, my little golf course, it's like, oh, it's 2x the data center footprint. And you're like, hold sold my beer. Here's another trillionaire for you.
The water used to grow and manufacture our chocolate bars every single year could keep every AI data center on Earth perfectly cooled and running for the next 160 years.
What if I just cut out all my chocolate-covered hamburgers?
That would really save some.
A twofer that I only eat at the golf course.
Your turn, sir.
Okay, this is loosely related to chocolate because the only thing worse than that chocolate bar that you're eating from a water perspective is the chocolate bar with almonds in it.
Oh, almonds. Oh, for sure.
Almonds, as it turns out, are extremely thirsty.
Depends where you grow them, but yes.
Constantly dehydrated. Well, most of them we grow in fairly arid areas, so they end up taking a decent amount of water.
Yeah.
In the U.S. alone, it's over 1 trillion gallons of water, irrigated water, just for almonds.
Yeah.
California grows virtually all of them, so this is really a California problem. 80% of the almond supply in the world comes from California.
In the hot Central Valley of California, too. It's in like the hottest parts of California.
Yes. If you think about a single almond, do you want to guess? You may actually know the answer to this because you're pretty learned.
Yes.
How much water do you need to grow a single almond?
Well, the thing everybody always says was a single almond is a gallon of water, but it's not true. It's actually closer to 1.7 gallons of water per almond.
If you bake everything in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think that is the more normalized number.
Yes.
That one almond that you eat, from a water perspective, is worth about 8 ChatGPT-4 queries.
Here's the cool thing.
8.
You have a nice bar of chocolate. It's got some almonds in it. The almonds are the lesser water users of that bar of chocolate.
You're getting multiple pieces. Like that one almond is getting split across multiple pieces inside the chocolate bar. So yeah, I believe that to be true. But if you have an almond bar that's covered in chocolate, then that one would be the other way around. Something interesting to note about the almonds is, we eat the nut on the inside, right?
Yeah, sure.
But there's this fuzzy outer layer in the US, again, where 80% of the almonds on the planet come from. Those harvested hulls, the hulls that are around the sort of fuzzy outer layer that's around the almond inside.
Sure.
We actually harvest those, and they offset things like alfalfa, which saves us, roughly speaking, 440 billion gallons of water elsewhere.
Because we're feeding them to cows.
Because we feed the husks to the livestock. Yeah. Most farms in California, which again is most of the almonds grown in the world, have transitioned to micro drip irrigation, and they use like automated soil moisture sensors to just make sure they don't overwater.
As opposed to the other one, which is called flood irrigation, which is how we traditionally have done it.
So we believe that we've reduced water usage over the past 30-ish years by almost a third just for almonds, which is pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. That's pretty great.
You pulled a third out.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
1 bowl of rice. You ready for this?
Oh, wow. Yeah, go for it.
You have a nice bowl of rice. You have a nice bowl of rice with your meal. Oh, man.
I love me some rice.
Nothing better than good rice, right?
It grows in water. It's like fish. Rice is the fish of the vegetable world.
Rice is the
grain world.
Yeah. 1 bowl of rice takes 50 gallons of water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of water for rice.
And that's before you put water in it so you can cook it.
You sort of think of rice as being like, oh, it's the beige food. Like, you can't use that much of anything. It's just
Oh, no, it's delicious.
Oh, it is delicious. I'm not saying it's not delicious, but it's just sort of like, you wouldn't think of it as using a lot of water. That's a lot of water.
Standard cooked bowl of rice contains roughly 3 ounces of dry rice. Producing that single serving requires approximately 50 gallons of water. If you scale that up for a family dinner, 1 pound of white rice requires about 1,136 gallons of water to produce.
Wow.
And the reason is because how it's traditionally farmed, which is continuous flooding.
Just constant flooding. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those are irrigation water too. They use well water, but a lot of it's irrigation water.
And a lot of that is because weeds can't survive underwater. So
it
kills off all the weeds because rice lives fine underwater. No expensive chemicals.
The rice doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the rice doesn't really care. It'll grow wherever. It's pretty hardy, but you end up not. It's like a natural herbicide, effectively. Like it's a natural weed killer.
And the weeds are the least of your worries because there's something in the patty water which is called night soil. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I remember reading about this.
You may not want to know.
It's not.
You may
good.
not want to think about it. No,
it's not good.
It's the guy who's standing in the patty.
Yeah.
And the thing he has to do when no one's watching.
Wait.
And he does it into the water.
What?
That makes the rice that you eat.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. There's no outhouse next to the patty.
Wait, he's pooping in the rice water? What?
And we just call that night soil. We just have a name for it to make it go away.
In Canada, all our Shoresies listeners will know that that's called an aqua dump. But apparently there they call it something different. So I like it.
By the way, those rice patties are constantly leaking. The International Rice Research Institute notes that for every pound of rice harvested, thousands of liters of water are lost due to evaporation and massive amounts lost to seepage and percolation draining down the soil.
So like Maybe in addition to the organic label, can we get the non-aqua dump label? Like, is there like a Trader Joe's house brand where like, we promise there's no pooping in the water? Is that a thing?
I don't think you can promise that. I think that's how most of rice is made.
I mean, I guess it's a nitrogen source. I did not wake up this morning thinking I was going to be defending the guy pooping in the rice paddies, but here we are.
Well, we are throwing poop on all of our plants to get them to grow and grow well.
That's what I mean. It's just the different species.
We just passed
poop.
them for a few more sets of kidneys. They're just not always human kidneys we're getting them from.
We like to use the creatures without thumbs to do all of our poop processing before it gets to us.
Globally, the rice industry consumes roughly 227 trillion gallons of water annually.
Wow.
Listen to this number again. 227 trillion gallons of water annually.
That is a lot of water.
Rice cultivation alone guzzles down 40 to 43% of the world's total irrigation water.
Wait, what?
They account for 1/4 to 1/3 of all global freshwater withdrawals across all human activities combined.
Wait, 25% of all freshwater withdrawals go to rice?
1/4 to 1/3, yes.
Holy cow.
So it might be higher than 25%.
Sure. I'm just trying to process. If you told me 5% of all water went to rice, I'd still be gobsmacked.
Of course.
That's insane.
That means the water used to grow the world's rice for just 12 hours. All the water used to grow rice for just 12 hours globally could power every single AI data center on Earth for an entire year.
So what you're saying is the next time I go work at one of these AI data centers, I need to order the rice bowl with extra beef and almonds on top and just get my massive footprint of water usage. That is bananas.
All right, we have to get out of here quickly before we do. Have you seen or read anything good this last week?
I wanted to do something that was water specific. Okay. And of course, I go to Chinatown because it's a fantastic film and I love Nicholson.
It's a great
film. But we've already recommended that not too long ago. So instead, my recommendation is really a great film I suspect most folks don't even know about, let alone have seen, is this doc that was called Bottled Life, Nestle's Business with Water.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have not seen the doc, but we used to drive by Nestle's headquarters all the time.
It's really good. So this is effectively how they turned water into a billion-dollar business.
Specifically bottled water.
Yes, bottled water.
They were buying water rights to rivers and things. Yeah.
This is really more of like an expose because, big surprise, Nestle didn't want to cooperate. They didn't work with the filmmakers. So the documentary sort of plays out more like a real world corporate thriller, right? That's how they put it together. And it tracks the company's aggressive legal and PR maneuvers to lock down local water rights all over the globe. This is not a US problem. This is a global problem. What I love about it is that it exposes this asymmetry of industrial water consumption, detailing really how beverage giants slip into vulnerable, drought-prone communities, anywhere from rural Maine to struggling villages in Pakistan. Again, global problem, to pump out millions of gallons of water, groundwater, for virtually no cost. You can't really call it a nominal fee. They package it up, they throw it in plastic, and they sell it back to the public at a, roughly speaking, 10,000x markup. A 5 order of magnitude increase in price for water.
Sure.
It highlights, this is what got it the most sort of press when this came out. It highlights the philosophy of Nestle's former CEO, who suggested, with a straight face, mind you, that the view of water as a basic human right was a, quote, extreme position, which I kind of find incredible to think of water as a human right, as an extreme position. It's super sharp. It's infuriating to watch. It will definitely shape your view of water consumption, but it illustrates the commercial beverage industry's, how it just dwarfs modern tech data centers in its aggressive capture of local water supply.
Right.
This is just selling it back to people to drink, and it breaks my brain. I despise bottled water, not even because of the water consumption, the waste that you generate, the plastic bottles. Like you said earlier, plastic bottles are 3 to 1 the water that you're consuming, right? You need 3 times the amount of water to make the bottle that you end up just throwing away after 10 seconds of utilization.
And yet, if I'm thirsty and I'm at the Mama Center, I will go buy a bottle of water. Literally almost every time I go, I buy at least one.
Every family member in my home has a stainless steel water bottle that goes everywhere we go, and we consume water through that bottle. And very rarely do we use a plastic water bottle. So anyway, it's a great film. It's Bottled Life, Nestle's Business with Water. It's from 2012. It's absolutely worth watching. And if you're interested in this water subject, I think you'll love it. How about you?
I will watch that, but my blood pressure is high enough. Mine is 1940's The Grapes of Wrath. Driven from their Oklahoma farm by a catastrophic drought from the choking storms of the Dust Bowl, the Joad family packs into a dilapidated truck to seek survival in California. Big surprise on them, California's got a drought. Directed by John Ford and starring Henry Fonda, Fonda as the defiant Tom Joad alongside Jane Darwell as the fiercely resilient Ma Joad. What an amazing performance. The film chronicles their harrowing descent into corporate exploitation, poverty, and police brutality after nature forces them off their land. The Grapes of Wrath is a cinematic landmark because it shattered Hollywood's escapist mold. Filmed with gritty realism by legendary cinematographer Greg Toland, it was the first major studio picture to directly attack unregulated capitalism and champion workers' rights. It remains an enduring masterpiece of social protest and human dignity. Henry Fonda's legendary portrayal of Tom Joad is amazing, not to be missed. The Grapes of Wrath, available for streaming now everywhere.
Now, can people get that, or is it still only in theaters?
From the 1940s?
I love how recent you went. You went back to 1940.
It's such a good film.
I've never seen it. Is it really that? Is it worth going and watching?
Oh, so it's 100%. There are some old films that just completely hold up. And Henry Fonda's performance in this thing is outstanding. Jane Darwell as Ma Joad is just ridiculously good. It's a great movie.
First of all, I love the name Ma Joad.
By the way, it didn't win Best Picture.
I was going to say, it didn't win Best Picture. What did it lose to?
Rebecca.
Well, yeah.
I think it's a better picture than Rebecca. I like Rebecca a lot. Oh, yeah. They're both really good films. Yeah.
How do you, Hitchcock. I will jump in my time machine and check that out.
You can stream it. It's okay. You don't have to see it in the theater.
Can you stream black and white movies? I thought it just failed. Don't they have to be in color?
That is the episode.
So confused. Thank you for joining us for all this nonsense. A truly terrible podcast from our awful company. Visit us on the web at nonsense.productions. I'm CJ Little.
I'm Jeff Parker.
If you like this program, please follow, download, subscribe, and like at Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, AntennaPod, iHeartRadio, Spotify, my favorite Overcast, wherever you may get your podcasts from.
Ditch the guesswork. Nonsense uses Open Weather Map, delivering hyper-local, pinpoint accurate weather data that keeps your apps moving at the speed of life. We didn't start the music. Driven by global radar satellites and a massive network of over 200,000 stations, it's the undisputed gold standard weather data source. Whether you need live real-time updates, hyper-granular hourly forecasts, or decades of deep historical climate archives, Open Weather Map couldn't be more simple. Check it out. In fact, I just use Open Weather Map to make a weather app that's extremely fast to navigate at weatherdaddy.app.
Oh, that's the one I got to from your OnlyFans page. Is that right? Where you only just talk about weather with your shoes off?
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
The Weather Daddy. I'll tell you, folks, it's the best $9.95 I spend every month.
It's free.
Yeah, but Jeff, how much water did you use making that app? That's really the question I'd like to know. You used a lot of AI. I know you ate a hamburger.
It was 2 hours.
I like thinking about all my activities just measured in water use, where I'm like, well, I ate a hamburger, I had 2 cups of coffee.
Sure.
We'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday mornings, except not next Tuesday for more nonsense. Most months we're here every Tuesday and Thursday mornings, except for May. But as soon as June gets here, we might be here Tuesday and Thursdays, but certainly Thursdays, unless Jeff has a game somewhere. But typically Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Say please join us.
Please join us. You know another big one that we don't talk about because the mainstream media won't cover it?
No.
Icebergs.
Oh, sure.
Icebergs use a lot of water. Nobody complains about icebergs.
They do.
Do they add any value whatsoever? No. All it does is keep me from having waterfront property.
Reflection, actually, yes.
Okay. All right. Settle down.
They contributed an enormous amount.
Right. Okay. Sure.
You take away the icebergs and you get a much hotter planet and we all die.
You know what they do? They take down ships. That's what they do.
Well, they took down one ship, yeah. I don't think they take down modern ships.
I also bet penguins use a lot of water.